Most likely, Superman is the first name that comes to mind when you hear the word superhero. Easily the face of DC Comics, sorry Batman, the tale of Metropolis's red-capped protector from the planet Krypton is well known to both ardent and casual fans, and a significant factor in this familiarity is his history in the movies. The Man of Steel had already been revealed to be written by the Suicide Squad director. Gunn will now also be in front of the camera, directing the much-awaited movie. The actor who will don the cape and tights has not yet been chosen. As the studio underwent a significant reorganization, it was announced that Henry Cavill will not reprise his role as the iconic superhero. Instead, the project will center on a younger Clark Kent, who will attempt to balance his life as a superhero and as a reporter for the Daily Planet. The movie will also feature Clark Kent examining how his legacies as a Kansas farmer and as a son of Krypton have contributed to who he is and what that means for his future. In addition to learning how to manage his two jobs, Clark Kent will learn about his legacy in this movie. The protagonist will have to confront who his parents are and what he can do to write his own story, just like in other James Gunn stories like Peacemaker. On July 11, 2025, which also happens to be Gunn's late father's birthday, the film is slated to premiere in theaters. Superman Legacy has yet to release a trailer, and given that we don't even yet know who will be playing the title character, likely we won't be receiving one for a while. James Gunn claimed he was only halfway finished writing Superman Legacy when he made his Gods and Monsters statement. Thus, theoretically, neither does the movie's premise. We've known for some time that Gunn would be producing and scripting the movie, and he did reveal a very important fact. Gunn has declared that Superman Legacy won't be an origin narrative, unlike the first Superman and Man of Steel. This means that when Superman goes to the skies, it won't be his first time doing so because he has some prior experience defending Earth's citizens in his superhero outfit. But there's always a chance that we'll see flashbacks of Clark's life before assuming the mantle of Superman. It's also uncertain whether other well-known Superman figures, including his longtime love interest Lois Lane, will participate in the movie. The same holds for the villains in the movie, although given that this is a whole new Superman, we're going to assume they may be characters we haven't before seen on screen. Even while General Zod and Lex Luthor are fantastic, there are plenty of other traditional Superman adversaries to pick from, such as the ruthless alien genius Mongol and the ethically ambiguous Bizarro. Not to mention that one of the most infamous antagonists in the DC universe, the kleptomaniacal AI conqueror Brainiac, has yet to appear in a live-action theatrical release, which is incredibly surprising given how well-liked a character he is. That all being said, there's a good chance that we'll see Luthor and Zod make an appearance, or at the very least, get referenced. Well, we know for sure that the one person who won't be playing Superman in Superman Legacy is Henry Cavill, which has caused quite a bit of division among the fanbase. Despite making a surprise return in Black Adam, the announcement of Cavill proved premature, as Gunn would go on to say that Cavill wasn't fired, he just wasn't hired. We've seen that some pre-established projects are also being retweaked to fit into Gunn and Safran's new vision, such as the long-delayed The Flash and the long-in-development Lanterns. With that, maybe the canned Michael B. Jordan project may find new life in the DCU. The famous portrayal of the character may be a little old and cheesy, but thanks to Christopher Reeve's contagious charisma and humorous attitude, it has endured as a true classic, even inspiring 3 sequels and a Supergirl 1984 spin-off. While technically being 4 sequels, Superman Returns continued the Donner movies while disregarding Superman 3 and Superman 4 The Search for Peace. Superman Returns wasn't a bad movie, but it didn't live up to expectations at the box office and couldn't match the magic of the first movies. Still, even the response to that film pales in comparison to that of Man of Steel, which is easily the most polarizing and controversial Superman film to date. Fans of the film love Henry Cavill's more grounded take on the character and found the various action sequences to be visually stunning. However, the film's critics felt that the film's melodramatic tone missed the point of the Superman character and branded its wanton destruction as violence for the sake of violence. Things didn't get much better for the DC Extended Universe's Superman when Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice and Justice League also weren't exactly warmly received. The upcoming DC movie is Shazam 2, which arrives on March 17, 2023, and is subtitled Fury of the Gods. Shazam was both a critical and commercial hit, liked more of Zachary Levi's childish superhero. David F. Sandberg is back in the director's chair, and DC Films has nabbed Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu as villains Hespera and Calypso. Shazam: Fury of the Gods was initially pegged to take DC's holiday season 2022 slot. However, in August, WB made another schedule shuffle, and Shazam 2 was pushed back to 2023. At the time of writing, the Shazam 2 release date is still March 2023. Shazam: Fury of the Gods, released close to Black Adam, has many wondering if the two will connect before a Black Adam 2 or Shazam 3, despite there being no plans for either among upcoming DC movies. Outside DC EU building, many moviegoers are simply excited that one of the freshest, most interesting and lighthearted superhero franchises offered by DC show no signs of stopping. Shazam isn't a character as well known as Superman, for example, but the critical reception to his first big-screen outing might indicate that this will change as time goes on. While Man of Steel was controversial, arguably the most significant mistake with Superman in the DCEU was its sequel being more of a setup for Justice League. Superman's next appearance came in 2016 with Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Since then, Superman has had a turbulent on-screen presence until the announcement of a complete reboot, Superman Legacy, in the newly reshaped DCU, that must avoid the mistakes that plagued the character in BVS. For the most part, 2013's Man of Steel was a good origin for Superman in the DCEU. For starters, the film introduced Henry Cavill in the titular role, something that proved a masterstroke by Zack Snyder considering the praise the actor has received since then. While only appearing in 4 movies across the 9 years, 2 of those being different versions of the same movie in 2017's Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2021, Cavill was widely regarded as a perfect Superman from all areas of the divided fanbase. Stemming from that, the characterization of Superman was more consistent with the comic book character in Man of Steel, albeit with some controversial elements from the usually dark-skewed Zack Snyder vision. While elements such as Man of Steel's Jonathan Kent treatment and Superman's murder of Zod caused some division, Superman was mostly the hopeful rendition DC fans have come to love over the years. This made Man of Steel a mostly positive start for the DCEU's Superman. This was coupled with the visceral, exceptionally crafted action sequences Snyder has come to be known for, and an all-time superhero movie scene in the first flight sequence. Unfortunately, it was the follow-up to Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, in which the problems with Cavill's Superman and the franchise as a whole began to become clear. While Man of Steel ended on a high point, with Superman taking the moniker and acting as humanity's hopeful savior after his ordeal with Zod, BVS switched the narrative for various reasons. That all being said, with emotions and facts pieced out for today, hope to see you again later.